Thank you very much. My fellow Americans, I'm proud to have chose New Hampshire as the state where I decided to begin my presidential campaign. Our campaign bypassed Iowa because I know here in New Hampshire in 2006, you had a mini revolution that occurred, and the people in this room were the ones who helped bring it about. And we're going to do that again nationally. Now, I want you to go back to the 2006 election. And remember all those who were saying that there was no way that you could turn 2 congressional seats. It hadn't happened, maybe in 100 years. But you knew how powerfully the people felt about the war in particular. And you knew that if you could tap that force, you could change the politics of New Hampshire. And that's exactly what you did. I'm here this evening to share with you how we can take back the White House. But first, I'm here to ask you to have the courage to vote your deepest convictions, because all too often we start to settle for second best. Here I am, having led the effort to challenge the war in the House, having voted each and every time against funding for the war, because every time you vote to fund the war, you vote to reauthorize it all over again. We should stop funding the war, bring our troops home, end the war. We shouldn't have to wait for a Democratic president to do that. Oh yes, as Commander-in-Chief, I'll be prepared to bring our troops home and get them home in 3 months. I've had a plan to do that, and I introduced it a few days after the invasion of Iraq. But I'm appealing to you tonight, just as you believed in yourself in 2006 and had a profound change that changed the politics of New Hampshire. I'm asking you to once again connect with your deepest beliefs, because I stand here today totally aligned with the mainstream aspirations of the Democratic Party in saying that we will not wait to 2013 to get out of Iraq. We need a president who's ready to do it immediately. We will not continue the Patriot Act. We need a president who's ready to end it immediately. We will not permit George Bush and Dick Cheney to escape responsibility for the deeds that they did in the name of the United States, because what they have done is to divide us. What they have done is to ruin our reputation abroad. What they have done is to trash our Constitution. What they have done is to set us on a path that caused the death of 4,000 of our soldiers, 1 million innocent Iraqi deaths, $1 trillion and more in debt. They must be held accountable. There is no statute of limitations for war crimes, and if we must reestablish America's moral authority, and I am ready to do that. We are a nation of laws. We are a nation of compassion. We are a nation of determination to reinstate our Constitution. And I'm ready to do that. And if you're ready, and if I'm your kind of Democrat, then I'll be your kind of president. I'm telling you that I'm the only one running who stands for a not-for-profit health care system. Why is it with 47 million Americans without any insurance, 50 million Americans underinsured, that we have the insurance companies still calling the shots in Washington? You and I know they make money not providing health care. You and I know that people can't afford the premiums. They can't afford the co-pays and deductibles. And you and I know that Washington is waiting for a president who will take on the insurance interests head on and dismantle their control over our political system. It is time to have a not-for-profit system where everyone in America will have the health care we need, and where health care is a basic right, not a privilege based on ability to pay. Are you ready for that? We need to bring back that old-time religion. I'm not talking about putting theocrats in charge of our government. We need to bring back the old-time religion of FDR, of a new WPA, putting millions of people back to work, rebuilding our roads, our bridges, our water systems, our sewer systems, our ports, our harbors. We need to see that port in Portsmouth growing, tremendous increase in jobs, going back into the shipbuilding business. I want to see an American national economic security program that says that the maintenance of steel, automotive, and aerospace is vital to our national economic security, and we're going to build ships again in this country, and we're going to get out of NAFTA and end our relationship with the WTO, because we need to take control of our destiny again. We need to take control of our ability to have a manufacturing power again. I want to see America make things again. I want to see America economically strong. And I want to see an America that remembers that each person in this country is entitled to a good-paying job if they want to work. Each person in this country is entitled to health care. Each person in this country is entitled to be able to educate their children. Each person in this country is entitled to safe neighborhoods. Each person in this country is entitled to a global climate that can be protected. I stand for a WGA. Think about this moment for a minute. To design, engineer, manufacture, install, and maintain tens of millions of wind and solar micro-technologies which will be installed in businesses and in homes, lowering our carbon footprint, lowering our energy costs. It's time to break the hold that the oil companies have on our politics and our energy policy and on our national security, and I'm prepared to do that by a new energy policy, by a new national security policy. We see the connection between global warming and global warming, but the connection also has to be a president of the United States who's ready to stand for the security of our country, but who's also ready to end war as an instrument of policy. We need a new direction. And so, my fellow Democrats, I believe that we can and will win the White House, but we will only do it if we stand by the courage of our convictions. We must believe that ending the war is viable. We must believe that a not-for-profit health care system is viable. We must believe that getting out of NAFTA and the WTO is viable. We must believe in a full education for our children as being viable. We must believe that peace is viable. We must believe our Constitution is viable. We must believe the laws of this land will be upheld by a president. I am prepared to restore America's moral stature in the world, and we can begin today by calling on the United States Congress to impeach the president and the vice president for the lies they told that took our country into war. You want to know what kind of president I'll be? One who stands by this Constitution, one who believes that the main reason for our country is to abide by this Constitution. This is our Bible. This is what I will put my hand on and swear an oath to the people, and it's time that we restored the primacy of it, and I'm prepared as your next president to do exactly that. I'm viable, you're viable, America's viable, the Constitution's viable. Let's show it at the election and show that New Hampshire is a place where revolutions keep happening.